All right, going live here at the main gate from the, not at the main gate, but going live here. Messing with the mic here. There is a road closure, temporary road closure so far. This morning they have a line of vehicles kind of situated behind that cop car as they move in the Booster 7 off the road there. Get it a comfortable distance away from the everything else that's happening. Got a dead cat mic cover here. I'm covering the mic right now. Apologize for the all right, let me know if we're good with the audio. I've touched the mic quite a bit here, but it's finally got that dead cut cover on the mic. Moving in the Booster 7 right now as we speak. I got this in 4K to do a little bit. It is a little windy here today. To get the umbrella out, maybe. Nah, forget the umbrella. We're good to go. It's a windy day today, that's for sure. Again, the news that I have is that Booster 8 was just here temporarily. While they maybe they needed the room maybe for finishing up Booster 7 after that successful static fire a little while back. I think they did a 7-engine static fire in that Booster 7 the last time, and they brought it back to the build site, and now they have it back here, and they are switching it out once again with Booster 8, which has just been sitting there. I heard that they're going to scrap Booster 8, but it is a Friday. Good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening, or whenever you're watching this in the distant future. My name is S Mamakos with Ocean Camera Space Corp. CEO here currently in 2022 of October, the month of October. We got a lot of activity as far as the economy and the financial system, but right now SpaceX is taking it to the next level, moving out they're going to go for probably a bigger number of engines, more engine static fire on the next time they do it. Maybe they'll do a full 33 static fire. That would be tremendous. That'd be the first time, the biggest rocket maybe in the public sector. Of course, in the private, not in the private, but in the defense sector, this is fiddling thumbs here, what we're seeing at SpaceX. But in the defense sector, I think I heard recently from Gregory Manarino that the entire budget of all the different states here in the United States put together was just a small percentage of the defense sector budget. So like 5% of the, if you take all the money spent in all the different states here in the United States of America, and you put it all together, you total it up, it's only about a small percentage of the defense sector that we spend here every year in the military. So, yeah, the military far outshines the public sector here. We're more of a militaristic country than anything else, but at least Elon cares about the people and the public and taking things forward in an open way. Cares about caring about people, so we're getting to see it here live. If you work for one of those defense militaristic war death companies. All I can say is I wish you the best, because what comes around goes around, and if you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? That's a saying. You live by the sword, die by the sword. And if you're making weapons of war and different things like that, and you're using strength to force your way, then it's going to come back to you sometime, somewhere, sometime, some lifetime. It's going to be a cycle that repeats, and it's too bad, because we're all connected. And if you're going to be having a crappy time, I'm going to be having a crappy time, because in my opinion, we're all the same being interacting with itself. So it's cyclical, and yeah, it's too bad that some of y'all are going to be having a more difficult future. The way out of that is to come out into the public sector and start developing and helping out, contributing for everybody to benefit, and that's the way forward. Let me know if the audio is good. We got, says 2 people here in the chat, but I don't usually live stream in the morning anymore, so it's understandable. I'm gonna zoom out, get on the camera a little bit, and then probably end the stream here soon, very soon. I got to get on with my day. I got to go to work. And just a minute. Okay. All right. Hello. My name again. You know me. Paul Mamakos, Ocean Camera Space Corp. The year is. What is the year? Do you know what the year is? It's 2022. 2020. Back in the day here in 2022. They were, and we are currently. They are. Moving Booster 7 in, you can see it. I don't want to stand in the way there, but this is a Harmonic mic that I'm using here. It takes a little finesse, but it does work. And moving Booster 7 toward the launch platform, more launch platform there. They got the Starship maybe backed away a little bit, so they made a little room. It looks like I wasn't here to see the distance of the Starship 24 from the tower before, but we're moving toward a Starship type future here, or present. So the more of this stuff that we see happen, the closer we're going to get toward warp drive and everything else. So teleportation, astral projection, lots of different stuff. Many types of beings here in the universe exist, and it's just about the public coming into the knowledge and the experience of knowing how to do that and interact with those beings. So, but we are seeing Booster 7 come to the right of Booster 8 there on the left, Starship 24, and it looks like they're going to be putting Booster 7 onto the orbital launch platform. It is a very cloudy day. We had some rain last night. Maybe we'll get some more rain today. I think it was forecasting rain for at least 5 o'clock this morning, and it's now past 8 in the morning. Maybe we'll get some more rain today, but after today it's going to be probably it didn't forecast any more rain for Saturday, but today's a rainy day. There we go. That's the update. I'll check out the chat here. All right. How did my weather update go? Let me see. Sorry. There we go. I'll add a few more words. So some of the speculation for the next steps forward are that maybe they will put the booster on there and static fire 33 Raptors. So that's one scenario. Another scenario is maybe they'll put the booster up there, then stack the Starship 24 on top of it, and then do the static fire. They'll probably do some cryo tests first, I would imagine. Maybe a full vehicle cryo test. We've seen that before, where they have the booster up there and then they have the Starship over here on pad B in front of Booster 7, where that is right now. And then they would cryo test them both simultaneously, but even though they wouldn't be stacked. So maybe they'll stack them both and then cryo test it all as a single vehicle. And it looks like there's an aerial lift to the right of the orbital launch platform there. So they're still doing some type of preparation over there. And about to see the booster eclipse eclipse the Starship. The booster does have grid fins. If you look at the top, very top, the booster 7 there has the grid fins, but booster 8 has no grid fins. And booster 8 apparently doesn't have any engines either. So the booster 7 does. You can see it at the top. Compare the two, and it's looking good. So what does the future hold, right? So I'll go into that next. So we are currently in the public sector here, and I will delve into what the future holds next. We are currently in a, what does the future hold next? So here at Ocean Camera Space Corp, the goal is to take video of the ocean, the different oceans on the many moons in our solar system. Like this planet here, Earth, has at least one known moon. Maybe we have a second moon somewhere, I don't know, but we have one artificial moon. Apparently it doesn't rotate on its axis, and that's debatable whether it is artificial or not, but it does ring like a bell, and there is at least one other moon in the solar system that does ring like a bell. But so we have a moon around the Earth, and there's over 200 moons, known moons in our solar system. And we currently have about 8 or 9 planets in the public sector. It's said that there are about 40 or more planets in our solar system. So in the defense sector, known planets, at least, in our solar system, over 40. So if we have 200 moons on the known planets in our solar system, imagine if there were twice as many planets. That would be about 18 planets. And just imagine if there were 40-something planets in our solar system, how many moons would there be? So apparently, most of the known moons in our solar system have confirmed water. Confirmed, not a question. So, and then many of the moons have a subsurface ocean. So there's, once you get past apparently the asteroid belt, apparently, you know, this is NASA information and other governmental secret compartmentalized information. Apparently in the public sector, what they're telling us is that life on these moons is sub-zero, very freezing on the surface, no gravity, apparently there's no atmosphere on many of these moons. And so, I mean, there's a lot of contention about that, because apparently a lot of people see and have seen and filmed and captured obelisks, big, tall buildings on the moon. And apparently there is some type of a glassy, maybe there's an atmosphere on the moon, or maybe there is already buildings on the moon. So there's a lot of contention about the actual fact about the situation on the moon, on our artificial moon currently. So just going from what's feeded to us from the corporate government here in the United States, which is causing all these issues here in the United States currently and wreaking havoc across the globe. This same corporation is telling us that there's no life on any of these other planets currently, which is false, because as you get into meditation and you become more knowledgeable and not so stupid, you realize that there is energy everywhere, and as there's energy everywhere, everything has a presence. Everything is present, right? It's here, it's present, and it has a presence, it has an awareness. And as you get more into meditation, you experience, I am bigger than just my body. I can feel other things, and the only reason that's possible is because the presence is everywhere, and that energy has that presence, and that presence is everywhere. And as you use your Jedi skills, you can feel all over everything, anywhere in the universe, the galaxy, the solar system, inside the planet. You can feel anything because you are connected, and there is a connection. It's not like you can sever the connection. You can't sever the connection. You can sever the awareness of that connection, the perception. You can close down the perception, but the connection's always there. So just as there is a presence all throughout the universe, there's a life everywhere in the universe because that presence is alive. And the reason you can always access that skill, that touch, that perception, is because it exists forever. It was never created. It will never be destroyed. You can't destroy yourself. The thing that is everything can't be destroyed. So it lives forever. So as you are able to access that perception, that skill of perception and viewing or feeling, sensing, anywhere in the universe, so that thing lives forever. It was never created. It will never be destroyed because it is. You are it. You are it, and it is. So there's life everywhere in the universe. It's just very childish, unexperienced scientists who have want to objectify and sever and cut. They want to cut things up and isolate them. And so that causes a lot of problems as far as knowledge and experience. So there's life everywhere in the universe. Everything is alive. There's nothing that's not alive in the whole universe. So I've done a lot of meditation in my past. I'm experienced a yogi. I've also experienced enlightenment. I've become one with everything in the universe. And then I was not, but it was still. It is. So the one is, we are. And there's life everywhere in the universe. So we are looking in the public sector at a rocket with the two different types of fuel, the methane on the top, because methane is, I've taken, if you take physics and chemistry, you realize that apparently there's hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. There's all types of elements, and on the periodic table, the hydrogen is, methane is made up of hydrogen and carbon. So it's four hydrogens and one carbon. So carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. In our periodic table here in the public sector, we have carbon coming before nitrogen. So and oxygen. Carbon is a smaller atomic weight than the oxygen. So carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and it keeps going higher and higher atomic weights. So we have the carbon with the four hydrogens makes up the methane. So that's the top. If you look at the booster there, there's some kind of streaks a little bit higher than halfway up, and that's where the second stage, the methane stage, starts. And the bottom there is oxygen, and it's heavier. Oxygen's a heavier element than four hydrogens and a carbon. So we have the oxygen on the bottom, and that's to keep it balanced. So it's a very tall booster, but the oxygen's on the bottom and the small amount of methane's on the top. So they're almost have it over there, and we're gonna see this thing launch. We're gonna see it launch, and this will be the first time it'll go over to. This booster will go out toward the Gulf of Mexico, and the Starship is planned to go over across westward that way toward Hawaii and land off the coast of Kauai. The Garden Island over there in Hawaii, and it'll land in the ocean, splash down, and the booster is going to go out toward the coast here apparently, and then if everything's looking good, maybe they'll bring it back and hover to the right of the tower here, and then come toward the tower, and the chopsticks will be over to the right or something like that, or maybe out in the direction it's currently pointing. I would imagine, and I've been told that the chopsticks they're gonna bring it in from the south and then move it up toward the tower. They're gonna hover just like they were gonna land. They're not gonna just come down. They're gonna hover and then move toward the tower, and then they're going to try and they're gonna do maybe the catching of the booster. So that's the plan. Saluting you from here in South Texas, Paul Mamakos, Ocean Camera Space Corp. October, first week of October, Friday, 2022. All right, no chats. Hopefully the audio was good. I'll check it later. If you have any kids or children that you want to help them become more knowledgeable than the average scientist here on the planet, you can look into something called HemiSync, Hemispheric Synchronization by the Monroe Institute, or send them to a program, a 7-week program at the Monroe Institute, or they use sound frequencies with headphones, and about 40 different people all together to experience expanded states of awareness. And it costs about $2,000, I imagine. It cost me about 20 years ago about $1,500 a week, but they haven't increased the pricing that much, I don't think. And I think it's still around $2,000 for 7 days with 40 other people using Western science sound frequencies, and you can learn more about it at monroeinstitute.org. I did over 10 programs there over the years, and within about 5 years, I became enlightened. So it took me about 1 year of work every day using the sound frequencies after the program. Well, I had an out-of-body experience during my first program, but you might, after you have your first experience, you want more. So I wanted to experience more and more. So after my, I'll get on camera for this. This is pretty exciting. So if you want to, if you want your child, if you don't want to go to the Einstein School of whatever, of cutting up things and death, if you want your child to actually experience something more than the average scientist here on the earth, currently here in 2022, October in the public sector, you can send them to the Monroe Institute for a week, 1 week, or you can buy some Hemisync or Metamusic CDs or sound frequencies and say, here's this music, listen to it with your headphones, go into your room, turn off the lights and listen to this music for 45 minutes. And if they do that consistently for 3 months or more, they immediately in that first experience, they will start experiencing both sides of the brain in sync. Both sides of the brain will work together rather than one side being excited and the other nothing happening. So excitement on one side and boredom on the other side is not a good thing when you want to expand your brain. So if you want your child, or if you yourself actually, maybe at this time in your life, you realize that maybe there's something that costs around $20 that can help me experience something new in my life rather than continue to do the same thing. If you want to experience, or I'm going to focus on kids right now, but children, in yoga they say that a child, once it passes the age of 7, is no longer a child, and it's like an adult. So if you want to relate to something that has a view of the world similar to the same as yours, no longer a child after 7, 8, they have an individuality. So you can call them children, but even actual kids younger than 8 or 7, they can benefit from this type of technology too. But for your kids, there is this sound technology that can help both sides of the brain work together rather than opposite. You can stimulate one side of the brain with math, and then have no music. So if math in isolation is just math. But and then if you want art and music and instruments, that's another side of the brain, but it's opposite the other. So if we can do both things at the same time, then that's a good thing. So that's what this Metamusic does. It helps your brain work together and enter while you're still awake. You can enter these different brainwave states while you're still awake. See, the key is while you're still awake, because everybody's a genius, right? So just everybody doesn't use their body in a way that's where they access that or they express that genius. So everybody is a genius. Not only is Elon, most of the time here in the public sector, a genius. I mean, he's an idiot too. So Elon is an idiot. I'm an idiot, but I'm also a genius. So we all have that ability to use our genius and to express in a way that's kind of cool. And so everybody goes out of body when they go to sleep. So it's nothing new. It's nothing special. It's not a skill anyone has to develop. Everybody already goes out of body. So it's just the ability to remember and be aware in those states using your current individual identity. So if everybody goes to sleep and then they go out of body and they forgot their physical life, that's, once a lot of people, they die, they have a near-death experience, and they say, hey, I didn't even want to come back, but they told me I had to come back, or I viewed my husband, my wife, my children, and they were going to be so sad if I didn't come back, so I came back. But it's so nice out there in the sleep. When you go to sleep, you enter that space and you forget about your physical life. So if you want to have that awareness of the other life that you have, the expanded state that we all access when we go to sleep, then you can use these audio type frequencies made by the Monroe Institute, binaural beats, or made by some other company. I personally have a lot of experience with the Monroe Institute stuff, so Hemisync, Metamusic, and these different frequencies, as you listen to them, you need to use earphones, usually, uh, because it goes to the different sides of the brain, or maybe you can get some things that have bone conduction, and it still isolates it to the both sides of the brain. And then it causes across corpus callosum a third frequency, which simulates the experiences you have when you go to sleep. So if you can experience sleep while you're awake, you can get familiar with the experience of what it is to be asleep, and kind of the two sides of your identity start to communicate. So the more you have experience while you're awake of these sleep states, then next time when you're there naturally without the sound frequencies and everything else, you've already become familiar with that, and you can keep your waking awareness in those deep states of sleep. So what you're training yourself to do is to become aware of that other side of yourself, which already exists and it already knows how to go to a body and has access to everything in the universe already. So you already have this access. You're not developing the ability. You already have the ability. You're developing the access for your identity to enter these states. And then once you have that capability, then you will be far in advance of almost every scientist here on the planet. So, and as you do that, and as more people do that, we will, as a civilization, enter higher than the zero type civilization. We will progress as a species here on this planet. That's my 2 cents. Hopefully the mic is still working. Sometimes the battery will die out. But Paul Mamakos signing out here. I got to go to work. Take care. See you next time. Adios. There is a tour. I just remembered. There is a tour. A gentleman signed up for a tour here at SpaceX for October 16th. So the Sunday, October 16th, this month, 2022. I'm going to be doing a tour with a gentleman coming from. I don't want to share his information, but we are doing tours here. If you look at XTours on the Ocean Camera Space Corp website, and I'll do some stops just outside of the build site. Maybe we'll go down to the Rocket Garden, and we'll drive down here and possibly check out 1 or 2 locations in town. But if you'd like to get a tour here at SpaceX, my name is Paul Mamakos. I do not work for SpaceX. This is Ocean Camera Space Corp. It is XTours, and we're going to check out some good stuff, have a good time. It's about a 2.5, 3-hour tour, and we can pick you up at your local hotel. So check us out in the future. Consider it. You can sign up on the website or just send me an email, info@oceancam.space, and happy to chat with you more. Thank you. All right, just getting a few sprinkles of rain here. I'm going to sign out here. I'll get a little closer up shot before I sign off here. Thanks for staying with it. See you soon, everybody. Thank you. Wish you the best. Hopefully life is going in the right direction for you. And if there's anything I can do to help you out, or tell you or show you on the camera or whatever, let me know. Looks like they have the road opened. And I'm going to enjoy the day. Hopefully you do too. And signing out. We're all connected. There's life everywhere in the universe. Nothing that's not alive, and wishing you the best, because we're all the same being interacting with itself. That's the knowledge you get from yoga, from enlightenment, is just the knowledge that we're all connected. And so I care about you almost as much as I care about myself. All right, signing out here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and